Today's presentation is about rotations. We're going to discuss rotations in a three-person officiating group. Rotations are the movements to new positions in the front court during live ball with the clock properly running. Before I move any further, there's a reason that we capitalize during live ball because movements of officials in a three-person crew when the ball is dead as the clock is not running are called switches. So remember, rotations are the movements to new positions in the front court during live ball with the clock properly running. Rotations are initiated by the lead official. Lead is moving from one closed down position to the other closed down position. And we will learn what closed down position is momentarily. When lead completes the rotation, trail will move to center, aka slot, and center, aka slot, will move to trail. Lead officials have three positions along the end line. The first position is the close down position. This position is between the 3-foot line and corner where the lane and inline meet. As you can see in the image where our official is rotating, she is almost to the end of the lane, and you can maybe see a white mark on the court between the I and the N and final. That is the 3-foot line. But this area is the close down position. Post up, anywhere between halfway between the 3-point arc and corner where the lane and inline meet, and just inside the 3-point arc. So you can imagine if you see that 3-foot line just on the court between the I and the N and final, we're talking about a position just outside of there and halfway between that line and the 3-point arc. Anywhere in that area you could consider as far as the halfway point as the post up position. And wide is anywhere beyond the post up position. Wide, you will probably be closer to the 3-point arc, especially when dealing with corner shooters. Rotations should occur when the basketball settles in the area and 1. The basketball goes below the free throw line extended, opposite of lead. 2. The basketball goes to the corner, opposite of lead. Well, obviously, if the basketball is going to the corner opposite lead, it also is below the free throw line extended, opposite of lead. 3. The offense forms a triangle on the ball side of the floor. Typically, this will be 3 players on one side of the floor and 3 defenders, usually in a man-to-man defense, as you can see in the image on the slide. 4. Offensive post players are in a position on the ball side of the floor to receive the basketball. 5. There are 15 to 30 seconds remaining in the quarter or half, and the ball matchup is in center's primary, beyond the 3-point arc. These are images taken from the Collegiate Commissioners Association officiating manuals. You probably will hear them more by basketball officials, known as the CCA manuals, for both men's and women's collegiate basketball. This is applicable for every level of basketball where you are officiating in 3-person crews. These images highlight when rotations should occur. The image on the left references rotations with man-to-man defenses. The image on the right references rotation with zone defenses. Key takeaway, there are common in both images. Our lead official and the movements of the lead official along the end line should mirror the basketball.
Brink has a couple of inches on Reese and could take it right at her.
Brink was the #3 recruit in the nation this year. Here's McDonald cutting through the D, and that's going to be a charge against McDonald.
In this play, lead initiates two rotations. The first rotation occurs because the ball settles on one side of the floor. Absolutely perfect. The second rotation occurs for three reasons. One, the ball settles on one side of the floor. Two, on this side of the floor, the offense forms a triangle. And three, there are almost 8 players on this side of the floor at this particular point. The rotations by our lead official have purpose and urgency, but are not hurried. And because of her excellent rotation work, our lead official was in a great position to call the player control foul.
Nelson Adota double. Bouncing underneath. Edwards looking for some space. Westbrook will fire and hit from 3.
Connecticut likes to play.
In this play, lead initiates two rotations. The first rotation occurs for three reasons. One, the ball settles on one side of the floor. Two, on this side of the floor, the offense forms a triangle, including post play. And three, there are 6 players on this side of the floor at this point. Eventually, the ball leaves the lane and goes to the opposite corner. A second rotation now occurs. While this rotation is correct, it was hurried because of the hesitation by our lead official.
But their shooter on saying this one's going to be in the 90s. Creighton knows they've got to try and outscore Iowa to have a shot.
In this play, the ball goes to the side of the floor opposite of lead. On this side of the floor, the offense forms a triangle. Prior to the first pass on the perimeter, this would be a great time for lead to rotate. By the time lead was ready to rotate, the ball enters the post and lead returns to its original position.
That'll be a blocking foul.
In this play, the ball settles on the side of the floor opposite lead. Lead rotates to that side of the floor. Perfect. Lead also makes sure to keep her eyes on all the action in the lane during her rotation. Perfectly done. One of the keys about this particular play is that even when we're rotating, the lane is our responsibility. And if we have any action occurring in the lane, we cannot turn our eyes away from that lane. We still must officiate that action even during our rotation.
Donald, the player of the year as well at conference. Brechtel gives it up. Lexi gets fouled, puts it in, and a chance for 4 for Lexi Hull.
Throughout the course of the Sweet 16, Lexi Hull has just had big moments. And a great job here. Brechtel finds her. Hits the 3. She has stepped up and made some big shots.
In this play, the ball eventually settles below the free throw line extended. These are two primary reasons for a rotation to take place. Lead rotates as she should. Excellent. During the rotation, lead keeps her eye on all the action occurred. Perfectly done. There's no further explanation needed.
A 39-31 lead for Stanford, and that's going to be a blocking foul against Lexi Hull.
In this play, lead has a great anticipation of the ball settling on the opposite side of the floor. Lead rotates and keeps her eyes on all the action while rotating. Even though normally we do not like to rotate on drives to the basket or drives to the lane, this is a case where this rotation was necessary.
The hold for one. Morganson says, I'll take it if you leave me open. And it skids off.
In this play, the ball settles on one side of the floor. The ball also goes below the free throw line extended. By the time lead begins her rotation, the pass has been made to a potential wide open shooter. The rotation is not complete prior to the release of the shot. This is a case where it's advisable for lead to return to her original location as to not negatively impact rebounding coverage.
Last time down, Creighton ran Sonano off of countless screens. This time, Molly pops out but can't get it to go. Here comes Clark. 3-on-2. Marshall, trail, triple.
We literally just talked about this in the prior play on the prior slide. We have a case where the ball settles on one side of the floor. The ball also goes below the free throw line extended. By the time lead begins her rotation, the pass has been made to a potential wide open shooter in the corner. The rotation is not complete prior to the release of the shot. Again, this is a case where it's advisable for our lead official to return to her original location as not to negatively impact rebounding coverage. And in this particular play, we don't want to affect rebounding coverage, but also fast break coverage. Let's review some things about rotations. Again, rotation should occur when the basketball settles in an area and the basketball goes below the free throw line extended, opposite of lead. The basketball goes to the corner, opposite of lead. If it goes to the corner, opposite of lead, obviously it's below the free throw line extended, opposite of lead. The offense forms some form of a triangle on the ball side of the floor. Offensive post players are in position on the ball side of the floor to receive the basketball in the post. There are 15 to 30 seconds remaining in the quarter or half, and the ball matchup is in center's primary beyond the three-point arc. Here's some helpful advice about rotations. They should have a purpose. There should be a reason, always, for your rotation. Just see the 5 reasons to the left. Rotation should not be hurried. You should not have to run or jog to rotate. If you do, that means your rotation is late. When teams play zone defense, be more patient with your potential rotations. If you're not patient rotating in zone defenses, what you're going to find a lot of times is very good teams will pass back around the perimeter or cross court by the time you complete your rotation, and you will no longer be ball side. If all possible, do not rotate on drives to the basket. More than likely, you're going to have a center official or a trail official, one of the two, with eyes already on that drive. And it is important that they be able to keep their eyes on that drive to the basket. Do not rotate after a shot attempt. If you are in mid-rotation during the shot attempt, return to your previous location. We don't want to impact rebounding coverage. We don't want to impact potential fast break coverage. And during a shot attempt, it's highly unlikely that your partners see you rotating. Thank you for spending some time today with us. We hope you gained some valuable insight that will prove to be helpful to you about rotations in a three-person officiating crew. Once again, thank you so much. Have a great day, great week, great month, great year.